I hope you enjoyed this breakneck excursion through mid-20th century Los Angeles. I'm betting a lot of Cubs fans were excited when they heard the robbery was taking place at Wrigley Field. Sorry, not that Wrigley. The one in today's film was built in 1925 by chewing gum magnate William Wrigley, but it was in South Los Angeles, and for many years it was the home of the Pacific Coast League Los Angeles Angels, farm team of the big league Chicago Cubs. The $1 Million Palace, as it was known, was demolished in 1969. Now, there are a lot of intriguing stories I could tell you about the participants in today's movie. I could tell you about the tragic accident that killed actor Charles McGraw in 1980. Or I could discuss allegations by Christine Keeler, the showgirl at the heart of 1961's notorious Profumo affair, that Earl Felton, screenwriter of Armored Car Robbery, was an undercover CIA operative who participated in sex orgies alongside high-ranking officials in Britain's parliament. But I'm going to leave those stories for another day. Instead, let's talk about a guy who left an indelible impression on crime films of the early 50s, William Tallman. Tallman was from Detroit, attended the University of Michigan, and despite scuffling through the 30s in a succession of jobs, he always knew he'd become an actor. World War II threw a detour into his plans. He enlisted and rose to the rank of major, serving in the South Pacific. Post-war, his work on several Broadway shows quickly brought him to Hollywood, where with only a few rare exceptions, he played terrifying heavies in westerns and crime pictures. His only rival, as the most in-demand villain in the movies, was Raymond Burr. In 1956, producer Gail Patrick, yes, the one-time actress, was casting a new TV series based on Earl Stanley Gardner's famous fictional attorney, Perry Mason, and she called in both Tallman and Burr to audition for the role of Mason's antagonist, District Attorney Hamilton Berger. Patrick had seen Tallman in The Hitchhiker, Ida Lupino's 1953 thriller, and she'd never forgotten how intimidating he was, just staring into the camera. She thought Tallman was so perfect for the role, she told Raymond Burr to lose 60 pounds and come back later to audition for the lead. Well, the American public agreed with Patrick's casting coup. In fact, in 1960, there was public outrage when CBS abruptly dropped Tallman from the cast of Perry Mason, offering no explanation. Tallman had been arrested by the LAPD at a party in Beverly Hills and charged, along with 7 others, for possession of marijuana and lewd and lascivious conduct. The charges were later dropped, but not before CBS dropped Tallman like a hot potato. The twist here is that the public deluged CBS with letters complaining about Tallman's dismissal, and within months he was back on the air. How's that for a switch? And in a nice coda to the whole affair, Tallman ended up marrying one of the women he'd met at the scandalous reefer party. Okay, if you want to tell us your favorite heist picture or your favorite psychotic William Tallman performance, or offer a guess as to how much of Adele Juergens's total height is made up of her legs, head over to our social media saloons on Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter. As for what's on tap, I hope you enjoyed William Tallman this week, because he's coming back next week. He plays a hitman for a murderous gang of communists trying to disrupt shipping on the docks of San Francisco in another RKO film from 1950, The Woman on Pier 13, originally released under the title, I Married a Communist. It's a time capsule of a tumultuous period in both America and Hollywood, and it has quite the crazy story about its creation. Come back next week for both the movie and the backstory. I'll be waiting, in the shadows, of course.